hi everyone. It's Andy and Derby again. So in our last little talk, Derby, you mentioned a place on Teams where we can get all this information. Could you take us to that right now so we can just kind of get a little glimpse of where we can go to find this stuff?
Absolutely. So if you log into Teams, and again, you should have access to I7, Initiative 7 4-H Youth Team. If you do not have access to this yet, contact your RSA and we can get you access. But you should be able to go into your Teams. And if you're sitting there thinking, man, I'm part of so many teams and teams you don't use anymore, there is a way to hide those. We're not going to go into that in this episode right now, but there's a way to do that. And it does make Teams a lot easier and friendly to use so you don't get overwhelmed. But anyway, you can go to Initiative 7 4-H Youth, and then you'll see on your left-hand side all of the current resource channels. And then you should be able to click on 2.2 School Enrichment, and then go to the Files tab at the top. And then currently the only one in there is public speaking, but even as others are added, you'll still be able to find public speaking folder. Click on that, and this is the plethora of resources that we have available to you.
Yeah, that is a lot of things.
Yes, this is your treasure trove of all the things. It can look a little overwhelming, but we have the spot. All of this is here. And if you want to if you're the person that just wants to dive into it and click through all the things, totally fine. If you're like, oh, this is a lot, I don't want to do that, that's okay too. Reach out to me and I can help guide through any of the resources we have here. But this is where you find it.
Well, that's really cool, Derby. So another thing you talked about in those terms of resources is resources. So there was a form that you talked about that we could fill out to request something.
Yes.
Tell us more about that.
So you can request funding. Actually, it's more than just funding. You support. This is a support request as a whole because there's a couple different things that we have available. We have funding for classroom and school level awards. So those are your classroom ribbons and then your school medallions or maybe other options that you've chosen to go with. And then if you are a brand new county that's never done Florida 4-H public speaking contest before, you also get some banners to put up at your different contests. And then this also gives us the information we need to connect you with the Florida Power and Light representative. And so we have had a great partnership with them that they're offering funding, but they're also offering to be present at our county contest to either speak on behalf of FPL. They can potentially be a judge. They can help hand out awards. So they've been great partners in supporting our county contests. And so if you want to know how to do that, there is this number one here, this first PDF in Teams in a support request. And I say download to click link because you can't click links you can click them, but it doesn't do anything in Teams. So you want to make sure this is a PDF. So you want to make sure to click on it and then you can download it. And then as you download, it will get you to it. But once you click download it and click it, I'm going to stay in Teams right now. It'll take you to the Qualtrics form, but I print it out like this because this is exactly what the Qualtrics form is. So if you want to know what you're going to fill out before you get to the Qualtrics, you can do this. And this gives you all of the information that you need. A couple things that I do like to point out is, again, by submitting this form, we're going to send you funding and reusable marketing resources or assets. And then 2, you're going to be requesting an FPL representative to attend. But the big thing is you as the county are responsible for purchasing and providing classroom and school level awards with the funding provided from this request. So we give you the funding, then you connect with anybody at your county level. And we do this because typically you're already ordering awards for a bunch of other contests throughout the year. So if you're already ordering ribbons and medallions and things like that for your county or your district or your horse events or your county fairs or anything like that, we wanted to allow you the opportunity to go ahead and just get this order in there with those. So we provide the funding to do that. We're not asking you to fund that on your own, but we figured there may be local opportunities that you can support a bunch of businesses out there that do this kind of work.
Well, that's really cool, Derby. Could you scroll up just a little bit so we can take a quick look at the form?
Yes. So you have this whole form. Like I said, this has all the information up front and where you can find it, where we just at in Teams. Very, very simple. We just need your name, whoever's submitting it, the email address of the person submitting. So this just allows me to get back in contact with you. Are you planning to coordinate a Florida 4-H public speaking program this year? Now, this seems kind of like a silly question because you're like, I'm filling out the form. Yeah, I am. But maybe you're not. Maybe you're just curious. So if you click yes, it'll take you to the rest of it. If you click no, then it just ends the form there. But that was a process because you may just want funding to get something started and you're not planning to do that this year. But we put that option in there just in case. But then anticipated county level contest date. The anticipated location. I will always follow up afterwards to confirm this information. So even if it changes, but just to give us an idea and to give some initial information to our Florida Power and Light representatives. And then just anticipate a number of classroom contests, anticipate a number of school contests. So previously with past sponsorships, we offered camp scholarships through funding. That is not something that is currently part of the sponsorship with Florida Power and Light. But we still want to know, because if there is an opportunity at some point with another sponsor or with Florida Power and Light, we want to know if you're still offering camp scholarships through the public speaking program. So then maybe at some point we say, hey, this many counties are still doing this. This is a funding opportunity. So we still ask that. And we still ask how many you're providing. Again, we don't provide the funding for that, but that is just information for potential future opportunities. And then, are you requesting funding? So again, this might be a silly question, you feel like, but we specifically ask because you may have previous resources that you don't need to request funding for this year. But we still want you to fill out this form so we can connect you with a Florida Power and Light representative. So even if you're not requesting funding, this again is a full support request form for that representation and the funding. And then just the anticipated cost. I don't need receipts. I don't need quotes. I don't need anything like that. Just how much do you think it's going to cost to buy ribbons for the classroom contest, medallions for the school contest, and then to add that up into the total amount requested. And so then you also have the opportunity to get a third set of awards. So right now we're currently only providing 2 sets of awards, but if you want a third set of awards, you can click yes, and we will send that to you. I believe actually in coming time too, that we're just going to send you how many award sets you need without having to invoice and pay and things like that. We will continue to update you on that. But for right now, we have this whole process with, we'll send you 2 and we'll send you however many you want. You may just have to pay for an additional set.
Well, it looks pretty straightforward to me, Derby, and I think the form covers a lot of good information. And I think it's been really helpful for you coming through with this today and talking with us today. So is there any last little thoughts that you might have about people finding the information or filling out the form that might help them out as they're starting their adventure in public speaking?
I am a very friendly person. I am a very responsive person. So at the end of the day, if you have any questions, please just reach out to me. And I do not mind answering any questions. There's no stupid question. I do not mind. The information is out there, honestly, more for myself, so that when you do come to me with questions, I have an easy place to refer you to, and I have an easy place to find the answers myself if I forget. So please, please, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. Again, my email is derby, DERBY .sale, SALE @UFL.edu. And I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have to get you doing the great work of this program.
That's great. Thanks for talking with me today.
Absolutely.